Hello there, it's me again. Time for a little ramble and a little snatch presentation. I was asked to do one, and I actually remember that I promised to do one for marathon. I promised someone a long time ago. So here goes my little snatch tips and tricks. This is just my way. There are several online that are probably so much better, but hey, this is mine. So, snatch is the bell from down here and over here. And my way of kind of learning how to do it is I started to understand that you can use your body weight. I've shown this in many videos, I think. Like when you move your body a little bit from side to side, maybe 45 degrees. So as you lean back, you kind of get like a free pull. So the bell goes up. Some people don't do this. They go more like straight down and straight up. But then they lean forward and lean back like with the bell, and they use the same kind of technique. The body is moving in the same way, just like some do it more from the side and some do it back to front, I think. And there are many things you need to think about when you want to get better and get beyond. The more you do it, the more you learn, and then you will kind of do more of the small things that you need to learn to do snatch. Grip is of course the first. I hold the bell like this, where I try to put the thumb over here, and I try to let it hang so that I don't grip it hard, just straight line. And I try to keep my arm in a straight line here. So I don't go like this to pull. I try to just let it hang and let this muscle relax into all of the movement. And then in the backswing, when the arm comes down and into the backswing, if we let the bell go like this, when you come here, and if then the bell hits you in the ass, you have like this, then your timing is off. So that is one clue. When you swing, the bell, even if it's a light or heavy one, should never go and bounce. It should never be stop and have this kind of motion. It should be steady, and the arm should follow the bell the whole time. And that is quite important, because for hundreds of reps, if you go like this, even if the bell is pulling your arm, the arm is tightening up, and you kind of lose the grip each rep. So follow and just be straight, and just the same way up. So you have to, timing is so important. And then there is the question of, from here, should the bell go over or around? I say, if you can manage, if you can practice long enough, around is better, or maybe 45 degrees. Reason for this, the bell doesn't go as high, because if it has to go over, it has to go higher up, and you have a catch that could bounce just a little bit. So if you can go around, it doesn't have to go as high, and it lands softer. And if the bell doesn't have to go as high, you don't have to like use so much force to get it at that height. So this is better than like maxing out and go over. But sometimes you do it because you timing is off, and it's kind of like if you don't have a full enough control to go around, you use a lot of force to make it go around. So if it's easier to go over, do that. I don't know if it's that much of a difference. Some truly. So also in snatch, you should always try to keep your arm as long as possible. And this is very, very difficult. I struggle a lot with this myself. And that is when the bell comes up and when we lean back in here. And when we get the bell like flying from ourselves, I tend to bend the arm here and almost like try to meet the bell and then overhead. And that is a little mistake. You should try to keep the arm and stay back as long as possible. And stay back and stay back and stay back, and then catch it. The same as when you drop the bell, you shouldn't drop the bell like this and then lean back. You should keep a straight arm as long as possible and just lean back like this. And let the bell fall with a straight arm, and then when the arm is coming down, you follow it and just like guide it over here. So, and that is difficult, very difficult, because you have to like, the timing has to be so perfect and you have to trust everything. And so I cheat in this way, and I have my body like this. So to keep my arm straight for a longer time, or try to, I move like this. And it's not like I come like this and then I so I go like this. I try to keep everything in like a flowing motion. So from here, where my this shoulder is forward, I try to think of it as one slow moving. So I'm leaning back, and as I lean back, I also twist a little bit, and then my hand, because the thumb was backwards, I also try to twist that one, so that everything moves in sync, and then I meet it. Instead of like twist to get the pull out of sync with stuff, and then you still maybe have the thumb backwards, and then some at the end they twist the hand. So think of it as a like one, it's the word continuous movement. If you just do the arm, I have a thumb back and I rotate it as I go up, and the same on the way down. So it's not like I pull it off and I have to turn the arm in the last moment. I try to already here try to like fall down and turn it in sync with the drop. And what you can do is actually practice without the bell. Those that have worked with me or trained with me, they kind of hate that, because I say, okay, we have to practice without the bell, but for me it has always worked. I can like find areas where I struggle. With my left, I really have to, because the mobility is worse and timing is worse. So I have to like, okay, I'm staying back here and I'm leaning over the bell. I'm gonna pull, I'm gonna pull, I'm gonna pull, stay back, arms, and then in. And then I'm kind of like shifting and moving like Michael Jackson doing the moonwalk. And I'm moving in sync. And that is the. And then when you practice, you look in the mirror, and what I see now, just as I'm showing you, I see that my upper body stays straight. So I'm forgetting like I should go here and then in. So that I work with the whole body, not just like the legs or here, but also here. So we get everything in sync. And it's not that difficult. It's just learning how to do it, and then suddenly it feels more and more correct the more you do it. Instead of thinking, okay, hand has to go there. Just practice. Part of a workout, how much is like 100 of these with no weight? You can do it in a warm-up, and you practice just the movement. And then suddenly when you pick up a bell, you kind of do the same thing. And then you just have to remember all the points in one, not like the, because then you will learn how to drive. You should like, you clutch and you gear and you turn and you look at all the things, and it's all happening at once. It's not like, okay, I have to look, then I have to turn, oh, I have to, and then I have to. You try to think of it as one movement. Also, when you learn snatch, try to watch somebody that looks like you, like your weight, height, body type, because we all have different things. If you're a light lifter, you will probably like dip under it. But if you are a taller lifter, I have never seen any taller lifters that kind of do the under dip. And that is because I think if you are tall, you weigh a lot. You weigh like 80, 90, 100 kilos. Then the leaning back is enough. And also if you lean back far enough, the bell doesn't have to go as high. But if you're a light lifter, you have to like really pull and maybe dip under it, because you don't have that body weight to pull the bell with. Also, practice with light bells, heavy bells, and make the movement stick with any weight. Try to keep the technique the same no matter what. Down. And you might ask, well, how do you drop the bell? Well, I lean back, and you know the fingers. You are up here at the top, and when you drop down, you let the bell roll off the same way it came up. And when you are in front, you switch, and you twist, and you turn, slowly, and then you're back here. The same way it went up. So it goes like here, thumb back, and you just drop, and you hook it, and you twist, and you turn, and you go like this. With heavier bells, you of course use a lot more legs to get the pull. But I would practice using lighter bells so you don't need to use like the legs or like push like this. If you push like this, you're doing something wrong. That is not in sync in any way. It's not like any good timing. It should be like a move backwards, not a yeah. For marathon, just to mention that in Snatch, the technique is the same, but since you're switching a lot, you get away with a lot more. So if you're using kind of like a lighter bell and you want high reps, you can rely a little bit more on your cardio, your engine, instead of grip, because when you do like one switch, you have to do everything right because the arm will tire. But you won't get tired in the arms when doing a marathon set, not in the same way. So then you can, like in a marathon set, you can kind of like not worry too much about the technique. You can don't have to go as far, and you can pull a little bit more because you want higher reps, higher tempo. And if you pull a little bit more, you won't lose that much cardio, but you will lose grip if you like pull a little bit more. So pull a little bit more, you can go faster, of course, but it costs your grip. But for marathon, you can just switch hands as you want, so grip won't be a factor, and therefore you can like get a little bit out of sync. So for one switch, the tempo should be the same, like if you can 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's all like the same tempo up and down. But for marathon, it's kind of like a 1, 2, 3, and it's like a, I don't know what to call it, but it's like a, and you go a little bit faster at the bottom. It will vary the grip, but not that much in cardio. So that is like a, and you have like a, instead of the one switch or traditional, I go like, if that makes any sense. This is probably the longest and worst tech video ever, but who cares. Arms need to be straight as long as possible. You need to move your body in sync. Do not use the hips to like accelerate or pull. Use the leaning as the pulley for the bell to go up. Relax in the arm, in the hand, overhead. If you get tired and overhead, try to like straighten your arm as much as possible and never tighten your grip overhead. In a 10-minute set, stay loose as much as possible, and also the free arm, never go like this, stay loose, as much as you can. Breathing, super important. Breathe all the time, like all the time. Saves energy, saves your cardio. relax in your cheeks and in the jaw. Yeah, that's it. My extremely strange snatch practice video for this. Um, so I wouldn't worry so much about each step. Think of it as one fluid moment. But you might have to learn how to dance to do it. And that is like switching your body weight like this. This is the key. Both sides. That is the key to lifting. And it's the same in swing. It's the same in clean. Anything that has to do with the bell. This is the way to do it. And you can generate a lot of power. As you all know, you've watched Russians do over 200 with a 32, so it has to it has to mean something. So yeah, well, dance away.